and welcome to Monday night's Fools Rush In. It's a bit chilly outside, so much so that we know 24 hours in advance there is no football to be played. But that doesn't mean that we're getting postponed. No, we carry on regardless. We've got a strong panel lined up, lots of chat, and I'm sure a lot of nonsense. And we want you to get involved as well. We've got some very hard-hitting, not strictly football-related questions that we want your thoughts on as well. But before we say hello to the panel and get into all of those questions, let's roll the titles.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you.
And as I introduce tonight's panel on, I'm going to start with a very, very big question that I think gives you a real insight into the personalities of everybody. It's a question that I've stolen. I'm not going to lie, I've stolen from Twitter, from Shah, who we've spoken about before. She tweeted it. I've got my answer, and I'm interested in everyone else's. So let's say hello to the panel and ask them. First of all, good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, Fifey. I'm very, very well. I'm trying to get my last 10 minutes of hijinks out of my system, so I can be.
No, save the hijinks. We want plenty of hijinks. And tonight's big question, Ben, you're first up. Mini eggs or cream eggs?
Mini eggs.
Mini eggs, exactly. Good lad. Let's see if our next panelist has even tried. Don't do what?
Don't stick them up your nose, though. They're a nightmare.
In either case, you could do some serious damage. Let's see if our next panelist has even tried any of these delicious snacks. Good evening, Nick.
Yeah, hi, Fifey. How you doing?
Very well, thank you, mate. Yourself? Warm enough in Oxfordshire for you?
No, it's lovely weather. Perfect dog walking weather in the morning. Yeah, absolutely loved it.
And where do you stand on tonight's big question? Mini eggs or cream eggs?
I wouldn't eat a cream egg if you paid me, so it has to be mini eggs.
Oh, I think that's a bit harsh on the cream egg.
Oh, horrible things.
They're just
horrible.
Not quite a mini egg.
Yeah.
The next guest already has head in hand, so I think he may be going a bit contrary. Good evening, Ned.
What are you guys on about?
Well, to start with,
it's cream egg
straight
every day of the week.
My 100% mini eggs.
How's about that then, Ned?
So I think what it is, Ben, is Ned's just a bit upset at the moment, isn't he? Nick, what do you think? Do you think Ned's just a bit upset that the three of us are all sporting?
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. I don't know if Joe's watching yet, but hashtag get Ned a mug.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate it.
Good, Joe.
Let's invite our next. Claire is evening, Claire. Cream eggs. There is no other answer, says Claire.
Claire knows.
So Claire
I've got
knows.
all the time for Claire.
Let's see if our next panelist knows. Jack, what are the youth saying today? Mini eggs or cream eggs?
It's mini eggs.
Yeah,
mini eggs for Jack as well.
Good boy.
Brought you up well, son.
Now, to me, this is a very strong-looking panel, but what we need is a bit of balance. And despite the fact there is no game tomorrow, I'm delighted to welcome back one of my all-time favourite Fools guests. Got so much energy. He reminds me, if I can just go a bit Louis Walsh for a minute, he reminds me of a young Ben before Scott Lindsay. So much enthusiasm for the game. Evening, Matt. Welcome back to Fools Rush In.
Evening, chat.
Hello, Matt.
Thank you
How are you,
so
buddy?
much for that intro. That's literally made my night that you give me that intro. And you're bang on. I feel like I could be Ben's number 2. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be.
No. Ben sleeps in mat pajamas these days.
Oh, honestly, I look for you, especially at the table at the minute, mate. I can only dream of being a Matt Farley at the minute.
But we can all dream of being a Matt Farley at the minute. Not only is he running marathons, but he's supporting table-topping. What's the word? I'm looking for a word that begins with T. To trouncing, table-topping trouncing Stevenage, and I mean, promotion must be the word for you at the minute, sir. Surely.
Oh my God!
Yeah, go on, say it, because that'll jinx it. Come on, say the word.
Yeah, touch wood.
Oh mate, I've been seeing all the Twitter posts from other Stevenage fans like that. We're designing the scarves, promotion party, and all that.
Danger.
Do you know what? I hate to say it. I really hate to say this because it could really come back to bite us. But we've even gone one step further, right? Me and a few of the guys, oh God, this is going to sound terrible, have actually booked a celebration holiday in advance.
No way!
Hey, I hope it's not when the playoffs are on.
We have, no, it's just after. Just after. we thought, surely we cannot mess it up. Surely.
Is this the bit we clip? This is the Steven Gerrard. Just don't slip, lads. Just don't slip.
Please, no.
A little word of warning, mate. Last season, I booked my hotel at Wembley for Wembley.
Oh, no. Don't say it to me.
The thing is, we're jumping a little bit ahead because, Matt, what we need to know is from a Stevenage perspective, is it mini eggs or is it cream eggs?
Do you know what? I've been really in this debate while I've been backstage, actually. I've been jumping to get on to answer it. Look, and by the way, I know I'm going on a bit here. I could talk to anyone about food. So when you include food talk, I think that's the only thing that could match talking about Stevenage, I swear to God. But for me, it's a tough question. But I am very partial to a nice mini egg. And I'm gonna back a mini egg, mate.
Team mini egg.
Food chat. We've had this debate on the lower league look about food. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have this chat at some point. We're gonna have an eat off or something. It'd be great. So Fools Rush In. We're very lucky that we've got a core group of listeners and viewers that really do make our life easy by creating content for us. We've got 2 quizzes later tonight to make up for the lack of match talk. For the guys here, obviously, Matt, I'm not expecting you to hang about for those. We wouldn't be offended if you jump off. However, Steve is also just creating content as he goes along. No game tomorrow, so let's create a new game. What is on TV behind Ben? So send your answers in, please. Let us know what do you think is on TV behind Ben?
Love Island.
Love Island. It could well be. We do intentionally go on at the same time as Love Island. Already loving Claire's comment here. Great to see Matt back on again. It's like having an excitable puppy on the show. But no to the mini eggs. I don't understand how so many people are getting the wrong answer. And then what have we got here? Matt reminds me of Spud from Train Spotting.
Wow.
In other people's leisure.
You don't want Spud from Train Spotting.
Matt, you're getting quite a fan base among the Swindon fans. Rob's tweeted in as well.
You know what I mean? It's love the bones of you lot. I really do. No, that's very nice comments from everyone. I got to admit, very nice.
And Rob's tweeted in as well. Great to have Matt back on. What a legend. So we obviously had no game on Saturday because the Poundland frost covers weren't very good.
We've borrowed.
Yeah, we've got no game tomorrow because we decided that we just didn't need any frost covers at all. So I think we might as well turn the STFC chat into Stevenage chat for a little while. And Matt, tell us. Let's keep it on track a little bit. How gutted are you the game isn't on tomorrow?
Oh, do you know what? I'm really gutted. Really gutted because it was like after Saturday, we kind of come in from Saturday, and it was like, if we can win Tuesday, we go top. And it was like, do you know what I mean? Like for us Stevenage fans, going top is like. Oh my God! I don't know how to compare. Seeing the Mars once every 5 years, we hardly are top of the league. So for us, like we were gutted that it was called off. But in another way, we were also not too gutted because we thought, well, it gives the team another week, and You know, we haven't got a game. We've got the FA Cup on Sunday, so it gives the players a bit more time to rest. So there are positives and negatives to it. But yeah, for me, I was gutted. It would have been great to get a result. Yeah.
I have seen a few comments online, stuff like it's just us doing our bit for Agent Wellens stopping you going top.
You'd have gone top if you turned us over, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it literally as well. It's probably called you up. Yeah, can you just get the game off, lads?
So, I mean, Steve makes a good point here where he puts Matt is the happiest person. Is that what it's like when your team is actually doing well? With Swindon, we wouldn't know. But all credit where it's due, and a lot of people don't like to do that, particularly where Steve Evans is involved. But you're having one hell of a season. Not only are you flying high in the league and smashing Leyton Orient all over the park, but bit of a cup run as well.
Wow. I mean, yeah, look, I think if someone would have just said to me in July that we'd just be doing the things that we are in the league, I would have just been, wow. You know, that is it for me. The fact that we've, you know, beaten Aston Villa away. Honestly, it just feels like we're in a bit of a dream at the minute this season, being a Stevenage supporter. It really is. It has been the best season I've witnessed at the football club. I've been a fan for just over 20 years, seen a lot of great seasons, but this one is the greatest one I've ever witnessed. Yeah, I mean, we look at moments of the season and we're just beating Leyton Orient 3-0, but we just can't get our head past the fact that we beat Aston Villa away in the last minute.
And what a way to do it as well.
Oh, literally, right. So when the equaliser went in, so when we got the penalty actually before we scored, we were just like, just get the replay, just get it back at the Lamix, we're happy. And when Jamie Reid stepped up and scored, we were all crying. We got replay. We were literally in tears, right? So then it was really funny how it kicked off. We were just all cheering that we got a replay. And then all of a sudden we kicked off. They nicked the ball back again. And we went forward. We went, no, surely not. Got the corner. And I kid you not, when the winner went in, I just started crying. In tears.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe it. It was like an emotional moment. It was absolutely amazing. So, yeah, look, we're having a great season. We've had so much rubbish for like 4 years now, being a Stevenage fan, that we feel like we're owed a year like this. And wow, are we getting it in an abundance? But it's been a hell of a year. I'm so proud of the club, so proud of the team and the players and Steve. And look, we still got a job to do. We've got 20 games left to go, and we've got the cup game as well. So we've still got work to do. But it's just been. I wake up every day with a smile. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's amazing.
You see, your team this season reminds me a little bit of the Paolo team. Even when Steve Evans comes out at full time and does the Paolo used to do that as well. And as fans, you love it when the manager comes out in full time and just has a little play about with the fans. Because Paolo used to wave the scarf around.
Yeah, he did it at Villa.
Everyone's brilliant. Everyone's happy. It's amazing.
Yeah, he did that at Villa, and then he did it on Saturday when we beat Leyton Orient, and it was just brilliant. And I think it's even funnier seeing Steve do it because he's so small, and you know what I mean, just large individual doing all this down the front. It's yeah, look, what a job Steve's done for us. He's absolutely transformed the club and the team, and it's just, honestly, if someone would have said this to me in July, we would have laughed. Honestly, we would have never have believed you. So, yeah, it's just been terrific.
It's funny you mention that. I flashed this comment up from Liam. We interviewed Matt in pre-season. He was this happy at the pre-season tour of Jersey. Nothing rocks, Matt, top man. Matt, I'm going to let you get your breath for a minute because you do have an infectious personality. Ben, I have to highlight this comment to you and ask you what it's like for you seeing what we'll see when we're talking to you. Because Liam's put here, I'm so happy that Ben isn't regular positive Ben, because Ben and Matt in the same place would have caused a black hole, I'm sure of it.
Hey, I did the Stevenage pod before Swindon played Stevenage. That was a positive pod. That was because I was happy then. I was happy.
Yeah, but that was when you were telling him out all the good players we had.
Yeah, I was. No,
that went well.
I picked the 2-1 draw, and I got the 2 bit right. Anyway, I got half the score right, but I just didn't get the other half right. But you see, I'm happy then again now, so I'm quite happy floating about. I think we'll do all right now. So I'm on the same level as Matt. Just wish I was performing. We were performing as well.
Matt, Claire sent an interesting question in here. As much as I dislike Steve Evans, credit where it's due, he's done a cracking job there at Stevenage. And to see fans like Matt that are so passionate about their club riding that crest of a wave, Are you concerned at all about losing Steve Evans now or shortly in the future?
Good question, actually. Very good question. I've been asked this a lot, actually, on different podcasts. And well, Steve, literally, funny enough, the morning of the Aston Villa game, he signed a 2-year contract to 2025. So he's got until 2025 in the summer. So I'm not really at the minute with Steve. We had this meet the manager event at the start of the season. We just beaten Derby at home in the pre-season, and we all went in. And I think that question was put to Steve of, how long are you going to be here? And Steve was really honest and said, probably a few years. He just kind of hit it. Look, I'm going to be here a few years. So I think we know what we're getting with Steve. We know he's not going to be here for 10 years. We know he's not going to be here for a long, long time. But I think what the job is for Steve is Steve wants to make us a sustainable League One club. And then I think once that happens, his job's done. So we know that Steve isn't here for a long, long term thing, but he'll certainly be here till 2025 and he'll see out his contract, I'm most sure of. So yeah, we're positive that he'll be here.
Well, he's been on the bench a few times, hasn't he? So, he's had his little dabbles at bigger clubs and Leeds and Rotherham and that, and it's not quite worked for him, but he's done quite well at your Crawleys, your Stevenages.
I love how Ben manages to ask a question in a really positive yet insulting way. He's dabbled with big clubs, but he does okay with your Crawleys and your Stevenages.
That's not insulting whatsoever. He has got a great Crawley. He took up and took into the Football League and established them, and I think he got them promoted, or nearly got them promoted anyway. He's going to get Stevenage promoted, so he loves building up underdogs and just making them really bloody hard. He loves upsetting the cart, and it's hard to do that when you're in charge of a Leeds United, where you are the favourites, you are the dog to be shut down. He wants to be the one pissing the opposition off. He really wants to get under people's skin. And that's what motivates him, and that's how he gets the best out of his team. So kudos. I think he can do really well. At Stevenage, it's a perfect match. That's
an interesting point, actually. How do you view this, Matt? Are you, given where we are in the season and how well you've been playing and your position, do you see yourselves as a promotion favourite now, or do you still see yourselves as something of a dark horse?
So it has changed, to be honest with you. I think the whole season we've just kind of been, I think for ourselves, has looked upon ourselves as a bit of a dark horse because, again, the goal for us really going into the season was just become a top half team. So I think for us, it's only just taken to now to start realising that actually we could be going up. So I think at the minute, when we after the victory against Leyton Orient Saturday, I think we've kind of gone, oh, hang on a second here, we could be a bang on favourite here to get promoted and actually maybe even win the league, which has been a really weird experience for the last 2 days. So I think the mentality's changed for us. We've kind of had that mentality of just be a top half team to now where we're a bit like, well, really, we've got 55 points. We're nearly there. We should get over the line. So that's
where
transition.
That's where his work's really going to start, though, isn't it? Because obviously, if you're the dark horses pushing to get in there, that's a good motivation. Now you're near the top and probably going to go top. You're going to have teams gunning for you, and he's got to keep those players on that level. And that's where it's hard. It's harder being at the top, being shot at, than it is trying to get back into that pack at times. So your season really starts now.
I will say that, Matt, 55 points, 100% you're not going to get relegated this season.
Honestly, no. You make a very good point because I'm like that as a Stevenage fan because we've had so much rubbish for 4 years, right? What game was it? Right, we beat Gillingham on New Year's Day 1-0. Piergiani scored, and we won a 1-0, and it got us to
Ned's favourite.
Yeah.
Ned loves Piergiani.
Good old Pidge. But it got us to over 50 points, and I kid you not, this epitomises the 3-4 years we've been through. The final whistle went, and where I was in the North Stand behind the goal, we all went, we're not getting relegated, like that big, second in the league. And you've got people looking at us who have been coming to the club for the first time, looking at us going, what are they on about? They're second, you know what I mean? But we were cheering that we're not getting relegated for another season, honestly.
So we've had a couple of questions in. Firstly, one for Ben from Liam. Ask Ben about his Stevenage will fall off. They don't have the depth comments from November.
Ben loves
a sweeping statement.
At the time, Liam trying to drop me in at that. At the time, I think even Matt admitted that Stevenage squad isn't the deepest, and though their first team is excellent, if 3 or 4 injuries happen, they're struggling a little bit, and they've got to put kids in. And I was thinking, as the weather got colder and injuries and suspensions kicking, they might struggle a little bit. However, they didn't, and now it's January. They've added to the squad, so now they have depth. So now I think they'll last the distance because they fought really well and they've done superbly well, and they've done better than I thought they would. So, Liam,
Jack, we've had a question in for you as well. Jack, what's more interesting, discussing a Steve Evans team or doing a quiz about STFC players from the olden days?
Neither.
Neither.
God bless Jack.
Come on, Jack, you know what to say.
Liam saying 20 cup finals now for Stevenage. Yeah. Obviously, Matt, we'll invite you back on when the game's rearranged to talk properly. But we'd obviously planned to have this chat with a view to the game being on tomorrow. Were there any concerns about coming up against Swindon? Obviously, we didn't, like I said, we didn't play at the weekend, so we're still kind of, our last game was that win over Grimsby. You know, that there's still, although we haven't got the new manager stroke head coach position sorted yet, a lot of the talk away from that is still about the effect Charlie Austin's going to have on the league. Were you kind of thinking you were coming to win, or was there some concerns about what Swindon might turn up?
Yeah, very good question. I think I said this prior to the win that we had against Leyton Orient Saturday, that I actually thought that the game against yourselves would be a harder game than the Leyton Orient game, because I looked at it and I thought, you know, we've just beaten Leyton Orient 3-0. Excuse me, we've got to go to Swindon on a Tuesday night. Tough game. You're in sick. It's a potential banana skin, probably looking at it. And actually, I remember having the chat that we actually thought that the game against yourselves was actually the bigger game, because we thought, you know, if we beat you, we extend that gap even more to some of those teams in the playoffs. Leyton Orient was a bit of a free hit game. It was one of those games where we were kind of top two. Whoever lost, it didn't really matter. It was one of those games, but I think a loss against yourselves would matter quite a bit. So, yeah, I think it would. I think it was going to be a lot more of a difficult game against yourselves on Tuesday. Obviously, I felt we could win the game because we're we're doing so well at the minute, and the last couple of weeks have been incredible. But I think it would have been a really tough game, a lot tougher than the game against Leyton Orient Saturday for sure.
Claire saying, Matt is very calm and measured about expectations and only just starting to consider promotion contenders. If Ben was a Stevenage fan, you would have been promoted already 10 games or so ago.
No.
And
measured. He's already booked his celebration part.
Liam is very much enjoying the fact that there are various members of the lower league look community in one place. He sent another one in. 5 feet, ask Matt about heading the ball versus Mansfield.
No.
I guarantee you'll love it.
Oh, no, as if he's thrown that in there. Right, so basically, in a nutshell, Liam came to the game where we played Mansfield and Drove in December, and he didn't have a ticket originally, and I brought him in the stand with me. So he's gone, where should we sit? And I've gone, it won't get a little bit full to near kickoff, so we can sit anywhere. So we literally sat for the warm-up. We sat on the front row, right behind the goal. And I can't believe he's thrown that in. And our goalkeeper, Tay Ashby-Hammond's doing his warm-up, and goalkeeping coach are volleying balls at him, and he's parrying them like that. So I'm looking at my phone, and I was talking to Liam at the time, and our goalkeeping coach has volleyed the ball, and our keeper, Tay Ashby-Hammond's parried it in the way of my face. So I'm literally sitting at the front row like that, and the ball has gone bang like that, and it's hit me at about 100 miles an hour. Liam has started crying in tears. He was just in accident. I'm in agony holding my head. I've got people pointing at me laughing. I've got Tay Ashby-Hammond come over and gone, "Are you all right, Matt?" I'm like, yeah, thanks for that. Look, I'm the biggest idiot right now in the ground. Everyone's laughing. It was brilliant, really funny.
Brilliant.
Obviously, you're no stranger to doing this kind of thing. So let everyone. I mean, obviously, people listening and watching to us will primarily be Swindon fans, but there'll be Swindon-based content coming from you when the game's rearranged, I'm sure. So let everyone know where they can find you and all your stuff as well.
Yeah, look, guys, we're very active on Twitter. At
Very active.
TSFC, very active at the moment. At TSFC Podcast, the Stevenage Football Club Podcast. Go and give us a follow. We're on Facebook as well, on YouTube as well, if you just put in the Stevenage Football Club Podcast. If any of you want to go and listen to the magical New Year's special episode with Steve Evans, do it. It's brilliant. Go and listen to that. That's on YouTube. Yeah, you can find us on there. Yeah, we kind of dropping episodes like hot dinners this season because we just can't get enough of winning football matches. So yeah, go and give us a follow, go and give us a listen, and yeah, stay tuned for some more content.
Regular viewers and listeners will be delighted that we've got some more advertising come back. The 69 girls are back under a new name, 69mega.com. Want to find love? All right. This happens from time. Whenever Liam is on watching, we get these weird sex adverts come up. It only ever happens when Liam is here.
Surely you need to get him in on the Fools Rush in. Surely there can be something done.
Oh well.
Okay.
Listen, Matt, obviously, thank you for coming on after the game was postponed. It's always a pleasure. If you can't get enough of Matt, he is very active within Lower League Look when they do their 606s as well. So go listen to his podcast. Listen to him on 606 as well. Thank you very much for coming on for half hour or so. Everyone says it, but your all-round positivity is so infectious. Like, we've basically spent half an hour talking about Stevenage on a Swindon Town pod, and yet we're all quite happy with it. But just promise us one thing, Matt. Other than offending half the fan base by not picking cream eggs, you will definitely come on again when the game's rearranged.
Do you know, I promise you've got my word. I'll definitely be back on. I love coming on it. It's good. It's good fun, honestly. I'll be back on whenever it's rearranged, fellas.
Thank you very much, Matt. You take care, sir. One more thing. Are you running any more marathons or anything coming up?
Good question, actually. So I was thinking about this the other day. So I'm not currently booked in for any at the minute. I don't know if you can see just to the left here.
Yes.
They're the medals. I've got them framed. So I've got the London one up the top and the Brighton one down the bottom. So I've got the two up there. I'm planning. So I think the goal for me is I've done Brighton and London. I want to do one abroad. So that's like the next. So I was having a look. I'd absolutely love to do the New York one if I could. Okay. So I think maybe that one might be next on the hit list. Maybe this year, maybe next year. But
part of the promotion-winning tour, is it, running the New York Marathon?
Oh, you bet! I'm going to have that League One shirt on in a heartbeat while running. Yeah.
Honestly, though, Matt, thank you very much for taking time out, especially with the game postponed. We really do appreciate it.
Before you go.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, I've got in fact, I've got two quick questions. One, are you in Ben's hallway? It does look like similar walls, yeah. Oh. You just place some stuff up on the walls just to make it look like you're not in Ben. And secondly, yeah, Jack. Have you seen Steve Evans and Freddie Starr in the same room?
Do you know what? It's really coincidental. You're not the first person to have said that.
All right.
Yeah, you aren't. You aren't the first. We've heard that this season by a couple of people. I've got to be honest. It's not the first time we've heard it.
That is a bit of an insult to Freddie Starr because he hadn't put that much weight on.
Poor old Steve. I feel like we need to get Steve on a calorie diet. It's going to happen.
You need to get him running marathons with you.
Take him on your marathon. Take him on your marathon.
Oh, take him on your New York Marathon.
Ooh.
Do you know what? Steve Evans in a three-legged race style New York Marathon would be sensational.
I feel like for charity, I should put him in a wheelbarrow and run with the wheelbarrow or something. Could you imagine that?
I would pay good money to see you pushing him in a wheelbarrow in a marathon.
Yeah.
He's one of them world's strongest men.
Are you know what it is? Because you can do like a little whip round. If you get promoted, if you win the league, Steve Evans will do a marathon with you. Just as a little thing. Get all the players, and they'll all put.
Do you know what? I am not happy with him actually, because he promised me that if I ran the London Marathon, he would donate every £1 a mile. He said if I didn't have alcohol, I completed it, and he still hasn't donated.
Oh, Steve Evans in it.
Ouch!
So Steve Evans.
Get it out there on the socials. Get it out there.
Suck him.
Yeah. Fuming. Steve, where's my 26.2 if you're listening to the Fools Rushing?
Yeah, I'm sure Steve Evans listens to us.
Yeah. Hashtag Steve Evans pay up.
We keep thinking of more questions just to keep you longer. But from an outsider's perspective, because you're aside from Stevenage, you are very knowledgeable on League Two. Who, in your opinion, would be a good fit as the new manager / head coach at Swindon?
Whoa, that's a good question. Do you know what? I was asked this actually the other day. I think it was Gab Sutton on his platform said, what did he ask me? He said something like, what does Swindon need to look for in their next appointment? And I said, similar to us, I feel like you at Swindon need someone that is going to be backed and who is going to be there for the longevity and that's going to build something. And I feel you certainly need that in your next appointment. As in specific manager, oh my God. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure who's really available at the minute, if I'm completely honest.
Okay, well, Artell seems to be the favourite at the moment.
Artell, also that could work. Artell. Again, I think if he's going to be dedicated to you guys and he's going to be backed and backed by your board and he's got a clear path to get you success, then yeah, I think go for it, to be honest with you. Yeah, go for it with Artell.
Okay. Well, Matt, listen, again, thank you very, very much. We look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks when the game's rearranged. Good luck getting the money out of Steve Evans. Good luck getting the commission for the TV show of Matt and Steve abroad in the wheelbarrow. And we look forward to see you again in a couple of weeks. You take care of yourself, pal.
Jax, thank you so much for having me on. All take care.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Matt.
Take care, fellas. Bye-bye.
What a miserable sod.
Think what it'd be like if they were actually top of the league.
I do adore. I adore just listening to him. It's weird listening to people talking about their club for an extended period. Like you're very fortunate if you get to feature on other people's podcasts to talk about your club on their podcast kind of thing. But I could listen to him all day. He's just so infectiously positive.
Love it.
Don't forget, aside from the cream egg, mini egg row that is going on in the chat, we've got mini eggs are elite level snack. Free range mini eggs any day of the week. Sean saying cream eggs as well. And then Liam going, an idiot abroad, and the first episode is just Matt and Steve in the airport arguing over who is the idiot.
Steve Evans' pool is definitely the next World's Strongest Man event, isn't it?
As a gentleman of quite large stature myself, I refuse to engage in these debates.
Quite funny though, isn't it? Being Steve Evans just shouting at you, is he?
You're saying that, Fifey. You're saying that. However, I went to Alton Towers Splash Landings this weekend, and you had to be under 21 stone, and the light flashed to suggest that I was over 21 stone. So I know,
mate. The light wouldn't flash to suggest. The light would see me in the queue and just put "fuck off."
That is a shame. That's a fat shaming ride, isn't it? Oh, fuck off.
So, in order to get on, I stood on the rim and put my weight on the rim and had one foot clearly in the middle. And I was like, "Oh no, it's fine. Look." But then,
your life.
But then, when I got on the ride, the it was the conveyor belts and water jets one. So basically, I got stuck at the highest point because the conveyor belts and water jets couldn't push me high enough. So the joke was on me. For tricking myself onto the ride. There we go. Sorry.
No,
Anyway.
did you have to get carried off?
What's that?
No,
I had to scooch like this.
Oh, bless you.
Nice little shimmy there, Ned.
That's it.
So let's get back onto topic, shall we? We did say there was alternative content on tonight's Fools, aside from mini eggs versus cream eggs, and of course Steve's game of What's on Telly Behind Ben, for anyone who wants to participate in that one. I actually did have some TV themed content. So Joe tweeted earlier talking about Happy Valley, which Nick, I know you've been watching as well.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. If you haven't watched it at all, get series 1 and watch it all the way through. Top show.
And Ben, before we went live, you were telling us the one that everyone's talking about. Is it Last of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us. Can't believe there's no game we're talking about telly. Yes, The Last of Us is a great show.
Well, I set
it's the next big zombie thing out, and it's going to be huge and really worth watching. It's fantastic.
Sorry, is anyone else hearing some quite loud interference coming through the background?
Yes.
Yeah,
some
I'm
rumbling.
not sure whose it is though. It's rumbling. Nick's hungry.
It might be TV behind me.
So a challenge for those in the chat while we chat nonsense. I set Ben and Sarah a challenge earlier was to convince me, and Jack did a very good contrary version of it. Convince us to watch a TV series that you really like. It could be any TV series, but in 10 words or less. You've got 10 words to send us about any TV series that you think we should watch. As here's Joe. Look, yes, Ben, Last of Us. Liam says Last of Us is unreal and Happy Valley is filmed on our doorstep. Spot on, Ben and Nick. Hashtag Happy Valley. So yeah, if there's any TV series, it doesn't even have to be a new one, but if you could convince us to watch a TV series in 10 words or less, please fire it through in the chat. Guys, we had Matt on. We asked the question. Now let me ask you, Jack. I'll start with you because it's probably nearly bedtime. How disappointed are you that the game's cancelled tomorrow?
Quite disappointed, to be honest. I thought it'd be on. I thought we had quite a good pitch. I thought it would be carrying on, but you can't do anything about it.
No. Ben, do you think it's been done intentionally?
No, not intentionally. I just think that you hear rumours that the pitch wasn't covered at all. So rather than having it done intentionally, because I think we would have wanted to get the game going, I think that the game had no chance of going. I think he just looked at the weather and went, "There's no chance we can get it." It's because the Don Rogers stand covers half the pitch, and it probably is always going to be not above freezing in the shade of the Don Rogers, so it was never going to thaw. So therefore, why bother cover it? I don't think.
Are you disappointed?
I am disappointed because I thought it had a good chance of actually being on, but on reflection, I was probably very wrong. But I can't remember the last time a sprinting game was called off for frost. And being an evening game, I thought it might thaw out during the day, and we probably had the frost sheets on all weekend, but apparently we haven't. So it's disappointing. But
we've had our first TV submission for 10 words or less. Liam says Supernatural. It's about monsters and killing them and lots of boobs.
Oh, marvelous.
Jack, how I didn't come back and ask the second question. Were you feeling confident in terms of the performance and result, or is it kind of a lucky escape for us that it's been postponed?
I think it's quite lucky because I thought Stevenage were going to win, to be honest. I thought they've just come off the back of beating a strong Leyton Orient side 3-0. But is their focus going to be on Stoke away? I don't know.
Okay. Nick, disappointed?
Not totally. As much as I want to see some football, if it was going to be as cold as it has been on a Tuesday night, sat in the county ground against a team that were absolutely flying, I think it'll do us some good. We might even have a manager in for our next game, or coach, a permanent one. You never know. And I think it'll be good if we're playing Stevenage near the end of the season. They could be getting into squeaky bum time, whether they're going to keep the top two could be a good game for us again, later in the season under the lights. So I think it's gone to our advantage. So I'm not that bothered, to be honest.
Do you agree with that, Ned?
I guess so. I mean, the reason that I wouldn't be disappointed is because I didn't want to look like Jack Nicholson in The Shining when he's frozen there. But I really wanted to see, after the Grimsby game, I really wanted to see another game, just to see if that was a one-off or whether it was, whether it was. This was the inspiration of Gavin Gunning, and this is like the please come and be our head coach sort of swan song. But
I want to see the 3-1-6 formation again. I like the 3-1-6 that we saw against Grimsby.
Oh, I just love that performance so much. It was so good, wasn't it? So good.
Jack, let's be honest. It's a masterstroke from Gav, isn't it? Because now he's we should, at some point in the near future, surely have a new head coach appointed. So he's going to end up with a 100% record because he wins one game and no other games are played.
Yeah, I mean, will we have a manager though? That's the thing, because it could be quite a while until we get one.
Do you think it will be a while yet, or do you think it's coming soon?
I think it'll come after Saturday.
After Saturday. Okay. Nick, where are you? Do you think there's an appointment coming soon, or do you agree with Jack? It could be as long as next weekend.
I think if we don't get an announcement tomorrow, it could drag on into next week. But I would like to see us get it announced tomorrow. They've had long enough now to make a decision. However many people they've talked to, so we need to get on with it. Get some clarity for the players, what's going on. Get someone in tomorrow, and then he's got the best part of a week to work with them, and alongside what Gavin has done. So yeah, it needs to be tomorrow from my point of view.
Ned? Sorry, I didn't time that well, did I?
You didn't. Well, if it's not tomorrow, to be honest, I don't really mind. I just want us to get the right person. So we've got a good team in place at the moment, so it doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned. Is just get the right person in. That's all I'm going to say.
Ben?
Well, Sandro said in an interview it'd be either the middle or the end of this week. Now that's saying that we bag the person we want. Clearly, it's not a done deal because we've not announced it yet. So it could drag till next week, and we have to look for someone else. But hopefully. Oh, hello, gals. Hopefully, it's from tomorrow to Friday, sometime this week. Just please get this done this week, please.
Nick, I'm interested in your thoughts on Woody's comment here. Evening, Woody. I'm getting very suspicious that my initial concern was right, using the recruitment of a manager as a reason why we're not hugely active in the market.
I don't think so, because the manager doesn't start the process off. It's all done in the background with Sandro, looking at seeing what players are available and whether they fit into us. So I don't think that's a major consideration. Probably like Ned said, they're waiting to get the best person in to do the job that they want. But I still think it's taking too long. So no, I don't agree with Woody on that one.
Jack, where do you stand on the transfer side of things? We know that essentially Sandro signs them off. So are you expecting, even if we don't get a manager announcement, maybe some transfer activity in the coming days? Because we've only got, a week left of the window?
I think it would be good if we get a couple players in, but our squad is good enough as it is at the moment, in my opinion. But it's just up to Sandro, and if we get a manager, really.
If I could offer you any two players, Jack, within reason, I'm not talking Messi, etc., but what positions, if I could give you two transfers this week, what positions would you be looking for Swindon to add?
I think we need like an out-and-out left back at the moment, but and maybe like a backup centre mid. But obviously we've just got Kane in, so I don't know. But definitely a left back.
Okay, nice. Ned, if you could have two positions right this week.
If I knew if Blake Tracy's definitely going or not, that would really help my decision. But I think I'd probably want possibly a backup left back and an out-and-out winger. I think that's probably what I would really like. But yeah, Archer's there, keepers, something that we need to address as well. Yeah, I think those are what I would really like to see. I don't think we need anyone else in the center of, in the center of midfield. Right back is obviously covered well and truly. We've got Clayton coming back, so we're pretty much covered there. So yeah, I think an out-and-out winger would be probably top of my shopping list with a left back.
Nick?
Yeah, similar to Ned, we definitely need another winger, and I think we need a backup keeper, someone that can be ready for next season when Bryn goes, because obviously he won't be with us next season. So yeah, keeper and a winger.
Okay, and Ben?
Sorry, just seeing Liam's little fishy comment just coming up then. Yeah, I think a backup keeper, absolutely, because we can't rely on that kid just in case something does happen to Bryn. And ideally, left back, as Jack said. I think Lavier is okay to cover at left back.
Sorry, who?
Lavinier.
Yeah.
Oh, Lavinier.
Yeah, I think a naturally left-footed left back in case something happens as well to our current one.
Ned, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, it's just that's not what you said a second ago, is it?
No, it's not.
Sure
I said Lavier for some weird reason. I don't know. And I corrected myself in the video.
Hey, we got Mystery Man Divine as well. Don't forget.
Oh, he doesn't exist. I refuse to believe.
No, apparently he's back into the system.
Well, yeah. So here's the question:
What, are you
This season.
Yeah.
So here's another question for you guys and everyone in the chat. What is a divine? Because we're yet to see it. Any answers on a postcard, as they say. What is a divine? Because go on.
If we're looking at genuine answers, he didn't look that good against us for Warsaw. I've got to be honest. But obviously Sandro sees something statistically. So
I'm a bit concerned that he's been a bit shit in training, so they've just kept him away.
He's injured.
I hope that's not the case and he actually has been injured. But I think they've gone, oh my God, he's not that good, is he?
His foot must be broken because the ball shouldn't travel off it like that.
Mike says,
I hope I'm wrong and he's brilliant and he comes
maybe SDM accidentally deleted him from the spreadsheet. I think that's supposed to be Divine. Autocorrect strikes again. Divine wears Crocs. Fact.
With socks.
Crocs with socks.
Crocs with socks. Oh my God.
We've got enough. Autocorrect is causing havoc in the chat.
Good pre-season. Oh, it's like I'm tweeting in.
It is. It's Ben's seeing his own comments. Ben, you've in the absence of so we've got a slightly patched up panel here tonight, haven't we? I mean, Ned's not 100% blessing, but he's come on to help make up numbers. Jack's jumped in last minute as well, despite it being a school night, because a number of panelists unavailable. You've been doing your research because one Swindon team did play this weekend.
Yeah, the Swindon ladies actually played midweek. I know Rich is quite interested in my thoughts on the Swindon ladies after his comment the other day. They were unlucky as they were 2-1 down at half time. I think Anna Coulston had a goal chalked off as well. But second half sort of overpowered a little bit and they ran out of legs and finally got beat 6-2, which is they played their part start an 8-goal thriller, but unfortunately let in 6. But it was, at least it was a good game to watch anyway. Which I didn't watch it, but it was.
It's a very good.
Yeah, to be fair, we must add in when we're talking about women's football, we bring up this Mega 69 ladies or whatever.
Yeah, that's unfortunate timing, that.
God's sake. But the team that we played against were elite. So let's not.
Cardiff City, they were pretty good.
Yeah, you cannot. This isn't just a poor performance. They are elite. So.
And it was only 2-1 at half time, but they got battered.
Exactly.
Mike says Woody isn't there because there was a guest. I mean, yeah, looking back on it, and it was unfortunate. SCWFC, they did take the lead. They were 1-0 up. As Ben says, they were 2-1 down at half time. And then you saw the comments on social media that it was just sort of lapses in concentration and perhaps the result didn't deserve to end up the way it did. But again, I think in these situations that there'll be lessons learned, I'm sure, and they'll move on from this. I think that the women's team and continue to progress in the way that we've seen them do over the last sort of 12 months or so. Ned, a little word on Fools Rush In sponsoree and latest to suffer the curse victim.
Yeah, Bryony hurt her wrist. I don't know how bad it is, but when she come in to have a Chinese with us, she didn't look in great condition. I got to be honest, she's got the most bruised knees that I've ever seen. So obviously she took a bit of a battering. But there we go. Apparently it's not a rare thing, shall we say, for her to get injured, in her own words. So
Jack knows all about that.
Essentially referring to herself as like the Jack Wilshere of Swindon Town women.
Yeah, possibly. Or what's that bloke who's just the midfielder, Jordan Lydon. Yeah, she might be the Jordan Lydon. Hopefully it won't lead to her leaving.
We have to say though, no, let's hope not. We have to say though, we obviously hope that the women's side get back to winning ways as soon as possible, and we wish them the very best of luck in upcoming games, of which we'll talk more about when we do our preview show on Friday. A little bit off track for us, but it wasn't the only story from women's football that sort of caught our eye this weekend. Nick, I'm going to ask you first. The WSL game between Chelsea and Liverpool getting called off after 6 minutes essentially because of frozen pitch. Yet we got League 2 games being called off 24 hours in advance. That one's being called off after the game has started. What's your thoughts?
From what I've read about it, I think there was pressure to get the game on because I believe it was on TV.
Sky, yeah.
So I think that's where the pressure was coming from, and to be honest, they shouldn't have buckled to that sort of pressure. I mean, somebody could have got seriously hurt. I mean, it's a good job he stopped it after 5 minutes, because the little clips we saw, I mean, they were sliding about like they were in an ice rink. It was ridiculous. So yeah, it should have never been started. They ought to investigate that. You know, there's a duty of care to the players.
Completely agree.
I don't know whether the stands were cleared of ice in that and they were safe for spectators. So yeah, the whole thing was an absolute shambles, and that sort of thing doesn't do the game as a whole any credit, and certainly the women's game. It just makes it look absolutely, you know, to quote a word, it makes it look tin pot, which is a shame because that's not what they want to portray. And there's been so much good work done on, promoting women's football, and that sort of thing just knocks it back. So, yes, someone should be answering questions on that. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Absolutely.
Speaking of promoting women's football, a tweet I saw earlier caught my attention. In a way, I'm surprised it's not happening already, but equally, I suppose, not surprised. But I hope it does. And it was a tweet regarding, the next season, they announced earlier, basically, there's a new sponsor for the women's shirt, front of shirt sponsor. And I saw a tweet saying that they'd like the women's shirts to be available to purchase the same as the men's shirts because they are different. And you've got, I saw one guy, the guy that tweeted it, and his name escapes me for the moment, said he's a shirt collector and it'd be a good one to add to his collection. But then you see people, I saw replies saying, yeah, because they have to buy like the men's shirts to get the women's names printed on them at the minute and stuff. And I think it would be a nice touch if they could make it so that the women's shirts were available for those who are now getting more interested in watching the women's game. I do genuinely think, and I'm not, I mean, you can discuss it if you like. I don't necessarily think you'll want to go extended on that, but I think it would be a great touch if they were to make the women's shirts available for next season for people to buy. That's just my my take on that. Like I say, the tweet caught my eye.
I'd buy one.
Yeah, good show.
Again, don't forget your 10-word reviews on TV series you think that the Fools panelists should watch, as well as Cream Egg versus Mini Egg. We have 2 quizzes tonight, 2 short quizzes. They're not long quizzes, but thank you very much. We always say it. We cannot thank people enough who send us content. Woody's dispelled my little promotional thing already. Cheers, Woody. The women's team are likely to have the same shirt going forward. Those shirts were already ordered for this season before it was agreed. Well, still, just in case, it's worth having an opinion on it. Yes, we cannot thank people enough who send us in content they would like to see, and in this case, we've been very fortunate in recent weeks. The likes of, Mike's been doing it for a long time. John as well sends us stuff in. Mike's been at it again. Is it Tuesday? Possibly. Oh, it's not viable. Yeah, people a lot more knowledgeable on the subject than me are sending information in. I'm just giving an opinion. That's all. So I've had a text saying from someone that they can't comment tonight on our show because they've been banned for 3 days for breaching community standards. Well, that can't be our community standards because we don't have any standards. Oh, dear me. But yes, as I was saying, thank you very much. Mike's been at it again. So we've got a little quiz from Mike to do. It's a little bit easier than the one on Friday. But I'm actually going to start with the one that Joe sent us. I've had a look at it. There's questions for all eras. So Jack, you'll feel a lot more engaged in this one. But it's not as easy as it first might appear. So I will just sort of shout your answers out. Woody goes straight in with Matt Ritchie. If Kieran's watching in the background somewhere, I'm sure Sam Parkin's coming in a minute. Yep. So Joe's quiz that she sent me, they did it, I believe, at a family event. And in fact, let me do this properly. There's just 15 questions in this one. But I have to say, just to do this justice, this is courtesy of D, Red Squirrel, the Archers, and Ian and Andy, and the infamous Chippenham DJ, Jace Roberts, who were all involved in this one. Joe had a lot of fun doing it, asked me if we might fancy it, and I said absolutely. She's also predicted, Nick, that you're going to do well at this.
Ooh.
She's obviously never watched it when you've done a quiz before.
She hasn't, because I am the world's worst. It's quizzes on Swindon Town.
So yeah, just kind of make yourself known before you answer so we don't get everyone shouting at once. But 15 questions. Let's see how we get on. What were the original names of the 2 teams that merged to form Swindon Town? Oof. Oh, question number 1 has got an oof. Jack's rolled his eyes. Anyone know?
No, I don't know.
Was it something to do with a church team?
I would say so, looking at one of them, yes.
But I can't quite remember what.
Christchurch.
Church and Railways. It's got to be Church and Railways, doesn't it?
The answer...
like a pub. Church and Railways.
Go on, Ned. What were you going to say?
It does sound like a pub, yeah. They did a lot of community stuff back in the sort of pre 20th century, didn't they? A lot of because the railways helped build St Saviour's Church, which is in Old Town. So I think something to do. It's got to be something to do.
So the answers is Spartans is correct, Sean. Well done.
Yeah,
and St Mark's.
St Mark's. Should have got St Mark's.
Question number 2, Jack. A bit more your era, this one. Question number 2. Who was PDC's first Swindon signing?
Jack was 1 when that happened.
Yeah, but Ben, this is your elite era, so you have probably spoken to Jack at length about this.
I do know who the first signing was as well. I can.
Any ideas, Jack?
No.
Go on, Ben.
Joe De Vera.
Well, that's not the answer I've been given.
Really?
Yeah.
Matty.
No, not Komatsu, no.
Damn it.
Sean is on fire, however.
Rafa.
Was it Rafa De Vera? I swear it was Joe De Vera. From Barnet.
There we go. Number 3, one for the older statesman among the panel. Name the player that was involved in the sending off of Cantona when Town played Man United in March 1994. John Moncur is correct, Ned.
Give us chance. I knew that.
I knew one. I'm like you. I can't really jump at it when.
Jack might have got that one.
A nice stamp on him it was.
We've got essentially a double question for 4 and 5. Yeah, Sean and Nick getting in there with Moncur as well. So question 4. In the Premier League, which team was Swindon's first win against?
QPR.
Well done, Nick.
Yes. Come on.
And question 5. Who scored the winning goal?
Keith Scott.
Well done, Ben. Question number 6, Lanzano. QPR, yeah, well done, Sean. I can see they're obviously slightly behind, so we'll see the comments coming up as you guys are answering. Question number 6, how many appearances did Chris Kamara make for Swindon Town?
Cool.
For my time.
110.
110 is incorrect.
I would say it's around the
150.
70-odd mark.
Yeah, I said 80, but 88.
You're all going a bit too high.
50.
Your closest so far, Jack?
57.
You've gone the wrong way. 46.
Yes.
Question number 7. In Swindon versus Everton FA Cup 4th round in January 1977, whose goal was chosen as Central TV's goal of the season?
God, I've seen that so many. Yeah.
Kenny Stroud that actually smashed it, didn't he? From about 30 yards.
Did you say, Ben? Sorry?
Kenny Stroud?
Correct. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ned's applauding the answer. Question 8, where did Swindon originally sign Charlie Austin from?
Poole Town.
Well done, Jack.
Wait for Jack, because Jack knew that one.
Can I just put a request out there? Because if is it Nick Vitale? If from Delaware?
Oh yeah, we need to get him on.
Yeah, if he's watching, I want him to put the answers up because he keeps on telling us how bloomin' bad we are. Stroud.
So Nick's doing perfectly fine. I have been seeing him. So let just to prove. So he got John Moncur.
Right.
He got QPR. Ferdinand arguing with fans. He got Stroud. He got Poole.
For God's sake.
So,
Well done, Nick.
We'll get him
Nick
on one
all
day,
the way
Nick.
from Delaware is doing perfectly fine. And then he's even responded, "That's me answering them." Where were we? So that was the Charlie Austin question, wasn't it? The last one.
Yeah.
Question number 9 then. When Charlie was sold to Burnley in 2011, who did we replace him with?
Oh,
Jesus.
what's his name? That's stupid. One goal he scored in his debut against Rochdale, and he didn't score again.
Andrew.
Nope.
What's his name? Oh, came from Torquay.
Oh, I know what you mean. He was bloody.
Awful.
That's it. Well done, Kieran.
Yeah, Benyon.
Yeah,
Elliot Benyon.
that's it.
Elliot Benyon. Who is the only Swindon player to score an own goal at Wembley?
Oh, not Joe De Vera. Who? Oh, what's his name?
I was getting married at the time.
By the way, everybody is sending in Benyon.
What was his name?
I was getting married at the time, so I didn't pay attention to who scored the own goal.
He scored that absolutely howitzer at the start of the season against
Sean has beat you to it again.
Risser, yeah, Risser. Oliver Risser.
Ollie Risser. Do you know what? He loved the club, Ollie Risser. Yeah, still follows it now, but he wasn't very good.
Where are we? Who scored the winner at Wembley against Sunderland in 1990?
Foley.
McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaughlin, sorry. As far as in my memory, it's the same person. Foley and McLaughlin just.
Foley and Alan Mack.
McLaughlin is correct.
Correct. Yeah.
In 1979, how much did manager Bob Smith pay for Alan Mays?
Go on, Nick.
No idea.
Two
He was a
footballs
crap
and a
manager
pint.
as well.
Any ideas? Think about the
75
time.
grand.
Oh, you're not a million miles away, Nick. 80,000.
I'll take that. That's half a point.
Well, there's a bonus point on offer. Do you know how many goals he scored on his debut?
Gotta say 2.
2. Anyone else want to predict anything different?
Hat-trick.
Ben saying hat-trick. Ben, you are correct. He scored a hat-trick.
Absolute guess.
Blimey. Arky was the only one that did that.
Question 13. In 1963, John Borman wrote and directed the documentary 6 Days Until Saturday, about a week in the life of Swindon Town. Which film did he direct in 1972?
Come on, Jack.
Come on, Jack. You should know this one. Not a clue. I only know about the 6 days till Saturday, but heads to.
Is it a football?
I'm going to say no because I have heard of the film, but I've never seen it.
No idea then.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Kieran, was that even shot in colour? And then Mike Bassett, the manager. Steve saying Debbie does Dallas. The answer is Deliverance.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I mean, that's a good film. Ding, ding, ding.
2 questions to go on this quiz. This should be a nice, easy one for a few of you. 12th of April 1993, Swindon Town travelled to St Andrews. But what was the final score?
6-4.
6-4 is correct.
4-1 down.
Yeah.
Otter, come on. Mitchell hat-trick.
brother missed 3 goals through buying a hot dog. That was such a good game. I loved it.
I remember that game because we were 4-1 down, had a massive strop at home. I went to go play football at the park, my mate Woody, and my dad came to pick me up at the end, and it was like, do you know what the score was? I was like, no, I don't want to know. Did you know what the score was? And I thought, we got smashed 7-1 or something. Like, you won. Shut up. No, we won. I had to go back home, turn CFAX on because that's how old
CFAX.
Page 1 of 8. Come on, hurry up!
Yeah.
Well, Page in a minute. Page will turn.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Jack?
Yeah.
Jack, have you ever heard the term CFAX before?
No.
Teletext?
Teletext?
No.
No.
You'll have to explain it later, Ben.
Bless him. He doesn't know what VCR is.
Have you got history at school tomorrow? Ask your teacher what CFAX and teletext were.
It's not rude. People used to book holidays on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Put your holiday on CFAX.
Wow. Okay, there's the latest suggestion for content for in the chat. What's your fondest memories of CFAX and teletext?
302. CFAX, page 302.
There we go. Yeah, look, it's just come up there. Look, 302 was football. Well done, Gav. Evening, Gav.
I used to watch on a Saturday afternoon when there were like nothing on. I used to go 304 for the Division 1, 306 for Division 2. And I used to watch the goals come through. It was a bit like a really bad Saturday, soccer Saturday. Seeing who scores.
We have one more question from quiz number 1. Again, thank you to Joe and everyone involved in sending this through. We really do appreciate it. Kieran, finding out we lost 2-1 on penalties at Barnet in the FA Cup one year was his teletext memory. And then there's Mike, 312 was the football gossip.
Yes.
Question number 15. Who did Swindon Town sell Don Rogers to in 1972?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace is correct. Well done, Nick.
Look up the Crystal Palace Man United game where Rodgers absolutely destroyed them. That's about one of the few matches you can see Rodgers playing at that level.
See, that was pre-CFAX and teletext, wasn't it?
That was even in colour, though.
And just to carry on proving the point, Nick has continued to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Jack, is it bedtime yet, or have you got time for one more quiz in you?
No, Jack, if it's there.
I've got loads of time.
Okay, let's try this again. Ben, Sarah, has Jack got time for one more quiz?
He's
Or is it bedtime?
He's got time.
Oh dear me. Okay, so the next quiz comes courtesy of Dixon's Piano Services. Thank you very much, Mike. We very much appreciate it. The A to Z of Swindon Town, this is called. Or A to T with a couple missing, he's put in brackets. Jack's got loads of time. Ben, on the other hand, has to go to bed. Off he goes. Kieran making out he's really old by saying in my day it was bed and lights out by 9.
Wasn't that long ago for Jack.
Wasn't that long ago for Kieran.
Fifey, can I use that?
No.
And
to be honest, Nick, I don't think it will help you.
Okay.
You can't ask Danny behind you either.
No.
Okay.
Listen carefully, because there's only one clue you need for this. I'm going to give you a clue for each person that is the answer, but it will be along the lines of Colin Calderwood, where both first name and surname start with the same letter.
Ooh.
Okay, so just bear that in mind when you're answering. So we start with A. Brought in as cover for Simon Ferry. So both first name and surname will begin with A. Brought in for cover for Simon Ferry.
What year?
I haven't been given years. Simon Ferry era we're talking.
He was around for a while.
Kieran.
Harry.
Dan Sparkin.
Harry Agombar.
No. Double A, yeah. Just like the battery.
Trying to cover Ferry.
Mike is trying to give clues here. He said under PBC.
Yeah, but he had about 100 players.
Do
you know what, Kieran? I know you've essentially just put loads of letters together there, but you're not a million miles away.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Any ideas for double A?
Give us his first name.
Ahmed.
Yeah. It still don't mean anything to me.
No. So double A was Ahmed Abdullah.
Ahmed Abdullah. No.
No.
And just as I say that, look,
Oh, of course he does. Ahmed Abdullah.
and then at the same time, Nick put Ahmed A.
Well done.
I think
Well
Nick
done,
was
Nick.
stumped on that one like we were.
Okay, so we now go to B, and your clue is a relative of his absolutely didn't invest in Swindon Town.
Oh, Bradley.
Oh, Barry Bradley.
Brady.
Try it the other way around, Nick.
Bradley Barry.
Bradley
yeah.
Barry.
Barry, there you go.
Yeah.
Barry.
Oh, dear
He had
me.
about 2 good games for us.
He's had a
and-
decent career since he left us, I'm surprised by that, old Brad.
Kieran in there as well. So next we go to C. And your clue is he also played for both the big and little club down the A420.
Billy, no, C.
See,
C, yeah. So it's not Billy.
I thought the answer to this was going to be Colin Calderwood,
No,
but it's clearly not.
he was given as the example.
Ugh.
Oh, Colin.
No.
No? The answer was, I thought it had a D in it. Canis Carroll.
Got it. Oh, Canis Carroll. I forgot about him.
He was a nutter, wasn't he?
He was an absolute nut job.
Now, how about double D this time?
Hooray.
His STFC career was limited due to the legal system.
Limited due to the legal system.
Double D.
David Duke.
No, not David Duke, but you're on the right lines in terms of how the game works now, Ben. That's right, Kieran. That's right. It's easy when you know them.
I said Donald. Dermot Donald.
No. Kieran has got it though. After spelling it terribly, he got there in the end. Dion Donahue.
That was Sheridan's fault. His career was cut short. That was Sheridan.
Now we've got EE. Anyone on EE out of interest? No.
I'm on EE.
Are you?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm on
EE.
Etienne.
You well done, Ned. Without even getting the clue. Yeah, keep going. What's the surname?
Etienne. Oh, what was
Ajax?
his surname? Yeah. Yeah. that's it.
Asajas.
Yeah.
What a left foot he had, by the way.
Do you know what? He was
Yeah,
a decent winger every time we saw him. Power just wouldn't play him. I remember watching him at the end of year party. You basically felt like a fraud at the end of the party on the pitch. We just stood there with everyone like that, going to play 2 games.
Woody's going back one, and he said David Duke should have been illegal.
He should have been. He got a lot of stick, did David Duke. He got a lot of stick.
He wasn't that bad. He was.
He wasn't
He wasn't that good either. Let's be honest.
Played a lot. He played a lot of games though.
He did. He did.
Played a lot of games.
So, Nick, I think you'll appreciate the write-up for FF. FF all predate even Nick. Fred Fenton, 1907. Fred Fisher, 1933. Freddie Fox, 1910s. So let's name the STFC upstart that joined our much-loved main mascot. So who joined the main mascot? FF.
Oh, I know.
Go on.
Funky Fledgling.
Funky Fledgling. Well done.
Oh, well done, Ned.
Nice simple one for GG. All it says is ole, ole, ole.
Gordon Greer?
What's Gordon Greer got to do with ole, ole, ole?
Gordon Greer.
Grazioli.
Grazioli is correct.
Grazioli, Grazioli, ole,
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 ole, ole.
Grazioli.
We now go to not Triple H, but Double H. An international footballer for Barbados.
Was that? H.
Double H.
H.
Double H.
Double H, yeah.
Harry
Nope.
Houdini. No, it wasn't Grazioli.
Kieran
Hope.
again.
Hallam
Hallam
Hope.
Hope is correct. Well done, Nick.
Hallam Hope. Oh.
Who, by the
He's
way,
getting on well, by the way. I hope he's recovered all right, as old Hallam.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
I do as well. But it has to be worth
hasn't
saying, Hallam Hope got a shed load of stick, and I actually thought he was underrated.
Yeah, he was decent.
Toby got in there as well, saying Hope. We go to JJ. Loney from Birmingham, who scored 5 goals for Swindon. JJ.
Loney from Birmingham got 5 out. Loney from Birmingham got 5 goals. Swindon, JJ. Kocher. Jake Service.
I was going to say the only one I could think of is Johnny Jackson.
He was all right, Jake Jarvis. I quite liked him.
Yeah.
I think I saw him. Yeah, he played up at. I think his first game was up at Accrington, if I remember right.
He was. He scored with that Moreno. That bloke got nicked anyway. But,
Let's just check how modern education is going. Jack, what comes after J?
K.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. Played for West Ham in the Europa League.
Kevin Klein.
No. Another player who, by the way, I thought was quite good at Swindon, and I was disappointed when they left.
2 Ks, yeah?
Oh,
Yes.
what's his name?
Did someone just
Carl
shout careful when they said 2Ks?
Carl Noyle.
Correct.
He's
Noyle. I liked Noyle.
Noyle is a good
Yeah,
player.
he was a good player.
He's a good player. Good left back. Good right back. Right back.
So LL, you don't have to guess because all we've got is LL. No clues. No idea who Louis Lean is other than a 1903 striker.
Well done, Louis. Louis Lean. Quality player.
So now we're going to M and M, not the rapper, Jack, just the 2 initials. Another striker with a decent goal-scoring record for Barbados came in to replace Iffy.
Morris Malpass.
No. Kieran, by the way, has got the Swindon Town FC website up because he's just typed in Louis Lean.
Yeah, block him.
He's just lost all credibility now.
Yeah, lock him.
Kieran, who's
Lock him out.
Kieran, who's MM?
Came in to replace Iffy.
Mama.
What's his first name?
Oh, is it Marshall?
Nope.
Marshall.
First name.
First name Mark.
Mark.
Matteson.
Nope.
Mark McCammon.
McCammon is correct.
Well done, mate.
Now I'm expecting big things from this one. Huge clue for NN. A Cypriot left-sided player who joined in a slightly controversial Bosman free transfer.
NN.
Yep.
Bosman. Free transfer. Controversial.
Cypriot left-sided player.
Cypriot.
I didn't rate him, to be fair.
I can't remember who he is.
So that gives you a clue that is relatively modern because I know who it is.
Well, it's got to be in the last 20 years, isn't it? Then?
Modern.
20-year anniversary.
It is. Next season is my 20th anniversary. That puts me and Matt at roughly the same age, yet I look about 40 years older than him.
You don't, 5B.
Oh, mate, I'm so. The reason I have the lighting so dark is so you can't see just how much grey there is.
Yeah, I know you're gonna feel, mate.
NN Cypriot left-sided player.
What's his
Oh,
first name?
Nikolai.
Nicky Nicolau, correct. I'll give you it, Nick.
Oh, I
It's close
remember
enough.
him.
Yeah.
Was it like Nigus or something, says Woody? No. So we skip. We skip to PP. And the write-up here
His
says...
phone seems out.
The write-up for this one says, even Nick is unlikely to get this. 1972 right-back who made just one appearance after joining from Leeds.
Poor Jack.
Don't worry, Jack. You'll get these. These are more modern.
No, I said the last quiz was more modern.
There's like 2 questions that Jack could get involved with.
We just like having Jack on here to make it look like we appeal to younger viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the crowd he brought with him on Friday.
True, actually. And they weren't even his mates.
Why aren't your mates watching when you're on, Jack?
She didn't tell him.
Why aren't your mates watching when you're on this?
Because I don't tell them.
To be fair, he gets enough stick for being a Swindon fan at school because they're all Tottenham and Arsenal and all that sort of thing. Ooh, Swindon, you're not a proper football fan. And Jack's like, shut up, I am the football fan. You're the plastic.
Yeah, that's it. Give him stick, Jack.
Any ideas for Triple P? Do you remember any Double P?
No.
Nick? The gentleman's name was Paul Peterson.
No, never heard of him.
Never had Paul Peterson. Even Jack's face, like, what the? I don't even know who Paul Peterson is.
So I'm going to expect none of you to get this one. And the only person who will get it is Woody, if he's still watching, which it looks like he is. Because RR says Robbie Reynolds is the only player, and he's from 1889. Rockin' Robin is too obvious. So can anyone name the Swindon Town legend who was part of starting and co-managing Swindon Ladies and is still involved, who also helps with the STFC Academy? He's also got an MBE.
Not a clue. Jamie Pittman.
What? Ben.
I thought he was going to say Raphael Rossi Branco for this.
No, because that has a B in it.
I know, but I thought Raphael Rossi Branco, but yeah.
Steve's. I'll give him half a point. Woody is there. He's got it. Roger
Reeves.
Roger Reeves.
Don't know who Roger Reeves is, to be fair.
Mike, on his email, Mike actually said only Woody will get this one, in fairness.
That's what... Oh, no, I can't say that on the pod.
I'm going to say Roden Rat. Who are you going to say next? What? Can't you say anything? No, say it.
I can't say it. I can't say it. Sorry, carry on.
So we're going to SS, and this is the penultimate question. Now, you probably won't know the answer, but listen and you might have an idea. So listen carefully. This 1937 right-back has probably the best name suited for playing for the town.
Sorry, I was reading Ned's little thing. Can you say that again?
This 1937 right-back has probably the name best suited to playing for the town.
Roger Reeves?
No, SS.
We're on S's, Ben.
Oh.
Steve Swindon.
Steve says Jack looks upset he refused the offer of bed. So do you want an extra clue for SS? The first name can be loosely associated to the current owner of the club, and the second name is very coincidental given the club that we're referring to.
Slem Swindon.
Well, you got the surname. It was something Swindon.
Super Swindon.
No, his name wasn't Super Swindon.
Hello, my name is Super Swindon. Meet my friend Swan. And the Don.
Kieran so far predicted shit, swine, swine, and swindaroo.
Swindaroony.
Can anyone guess the first name of Mr. Swindon? Can be
Simon.
very loosely associated to the current owner. So, what might, if I was asking you to describe the current owner, what words might you use? Australian, okay. There's a start, Ben. So, what beginning with S might have something to do with Australia?
Socceroo.
His name wasn't Socceroo Swindon.
That's the best. That's going to be my name.
Sydney Swindon. There you
Oh,
Sydney.
God.
Well done. I think Sarah got that.
Socceroo Swindon, so I'm changing to my name in there.
Hello. My name's Socceroo. Socceroo Swindon.
Going to the witness protection scheme.
I just want to, but before we do the final one for tonight, and thank you to everyone who's watched along and joined in the conversation. It's been, Steve said, Skippy. We, as always, we very much appreciate the comments. In our WhatsApp chat, there was some concern at one point. It was going to be just me, Ben, and Nick, and the show was going to last no more than half an hour. So the fact that we've done 90 minutes out of this is incredible.
Look, to be fair, we've done 90 minutes. We've had no games for nearly 2 weeks, no transfer news, and we still don't have a manager or have anything close to a name. So we're doing quite well, actually, in an hour and a half.
The last question of the quiz from Mike is TT. The striker was signed as part of an exciting pairing, and it wasn't perhaps as
Tony
prolific as
Thorpe.
hoped. Tony Thorpe is correct, Nick.
Boom.
Well done. Absolutely shite.
Him and Curitan, they were both useless.
Absolutely shit. Curitan scored for literally every club in
Everybody
England
else. Yeah.
except us.
They were supposed to win us the league. That
Yeah.
time.
We're supposed to win us.
Tony Thorpe was banging him in left. Is it Luton he did that or something like that? I can't remember. He's
All
so
over.
time.
QPR.
QPR. He was deadly.
Yeah.
Deadly in the box. He was shite. And so was Kieran wasn't that much, but he did score a good goal against the Vikings though.
Listen, on that note, we look forward to seeing you all again on Friday for our weekend preview show. Thanks as always to everyone who's watched along, and particularly if you've been able to join in with the comments, because particularly on shows like this where we've had no games, it's very, very helpful to us, especially joining in the cream egg versus mini egg and recommendations for TV shows. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. So from myself, from Ben, from Nick, from Ned, and once again from Jack, who really, really does need to get to bed. Thank you very much for watching. We've been Full Rushing. We will see you on Friday.
Take my hands, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love.